after the funeral, I got jumped and stabbed 8 times. So
I think the other thing for me that I've had, it's been a bit of a struggle, is being an Asian plumbing and heating engineer. Oh, what you're doing with your life, like you know, you're meant to be a doctor, you're meant to be a dentist, and you know. I
actually got sentenced to prison. Yes. Got given 5 years. I actually know, it's sad, like a kid. I said to see you later to him on Friday, and Monday he didn't turn up. He got stabbed once and he died. Yeah, he's 16.
When other customers see like an Asian plumber or Asian tradesman, they just automatically think you're going to be cheap.
Well, I can't believe we've gone through the whole show and no one's asked me about the medal.
Right, episode 37.
Daddy.
Daddy, cool. And we've got 2 new guests.
Yeah.
Pete's back.
I'm back.
In his hot seat.
Yep.
So, do you want to introduce, or shall I? We've got Kev,
Chigs,
Paint Warrior, and Chigs.
I'm called. Finally made it.
Say his name properly.
Chirag.
There we go. CP utility.
So we'll start with the story about Chirag, because this is awesome. So we went to it was called the Tech Tour in Northern Ireland, and we were basically touring around colleges.
Yeah.
Talking to the students.
Is this where you did the Indian accent and nobody could understand?
Yeah.
Thanks for getting to the point of the story.
We most got him out anyway. So.
We're talking to the kids, showing I'm doing plumbing, got Bundy doing electrics, Chirag's doing boiler fault finding, because that's his forte, and the kids are learning stuff. But at the start we have to do like an icebreaker and introduce ourselves. So I've got this little VT, and it's like videos of me, videos of your YouTube channel, videos of Bundy. We come out and introduce ourselves. So the first day, Chirag goes up and he does this Indian accent where he pretends he's this character called Uncle. Yeah. So no one's ever met him before. The kids from Northern Ireland, and they watch his little intro where he's talking this thick Indian accent, and then all of a sudden he switches it back to his English accent. Now, complete silence, because the kids don't know if it's okay to if I laugh, is this racist? Like, there's total silence, and then when it twigs what's happened, everyone just bursts out laughing. But it was so good.
I think the first day I tried it bombed.
That's because that first college they were a bit.
The whole college.
They didn't really want us to be there. I didn't.
No, because we even at that one I remember they
was it just you, or was it Bundy?
I don't think the college lecturers had told them what was happening, what it was going to be. So they all stood there like, "What are we doing? Like, this is shit."
And it wasn't even. Some of the students had nothing to do with the trades that they're representing.
Yeah, I think they were bricklayers.
Some of them were bricklayers. We had like painter decorators there, and I asked them, "Okay, I've gone through fault finding on a boiler."
Yeah.
Then I've asked them, "Okay, so have you guys got any questions or anything else?"
What's a boiler?
And they're like, "To be fair, we're just trying to get out of class." What do you mean?
I love that. I love that honesty.
Painter
that would have been me. That would have. So,
But yeah, no, the second day that was at the big college. I think that's where the icebreaker worked.
Yeah. But it's so cool.
Yeah.
Don't know how you get away with it. But you do it on your Instagram stories quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
And does that go down? Is that one of the? Like,
I think I started doing it last year, and just as a joke thing. Yeah. And it's just sort of
people love it.
And then it's just gone from there.
I'll have to try it.
I get people DMing. get your own accent. I get people literally DMing me, just not even by my name, just saying, "Hi, Uncle."
Yeah,
guess that's me now.
Funny. So, right, Chigs, start us off. How you got into your trade, and sort of anything you think people will get value from, can relate to, and then take us through to where you are now.
Yeah,
and then we'll.
Cool. How you became Uncle?
How I became Uncle? Well, where do I start? Well, my whole journey into the trade has been probably not the most normal way. Like a lot of people, first, third generation plumbers and heating engineers. I'm the first one in my family to do anything like this, which is funny because my family background, like in terms of our caste system, we are blacksmiths. So my family back in India, they still do look sort of the blacksmiths with the ironmongery stuff like that. But over here, I think I'm the only one who's in the trade. So my whole process initially was, I went to uni, I've got a degree. My degree's in financial maths and I've done absolutely nothing to do with that. I did that because I just enjoyed doing maths at school, so I didn't know what I wanted to do at uni.
Does anyone enjoy maths?
I
I just looked at him and was like,
He's thinking, what weirdo.
stats?
It just doesn't make sense, does it?
It doesn't make that make sense.
But that's why I enjoy breakdowns, because maths is all fault finding, problem solving.
Yeah.
So even at degree level, it was a case of you're given a formula, let's say Pythagoras theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And you have to disprove it in order to prove it, to say why it works. So I think those sort of soft skills have taken me into boiler fault finding, where I look at a boiler, something's gone wrong, and I want to know why it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
So it's not just, right, okay, the pressure's low, just top up the pressure and go.
Yeah.
Why is the pressure dropped? What's caused it to drop?
Is this
And
why
then-
you like a flow rate?
Yeah. Similar to that. So he was asking me about his boiler. So I finished uni, gone into sales, worked in recruitment for a few years, hated it. In between jobs, I did a plumbing course. So that's why I did my level 2 MVQ. So I just did a private course at a private college.
Okay, but so what made you choose to do a plumbing course? It must
To be
have been
honest,
something.
I don't really know. I just kind of wanted to do
Were you
something.
looking? Were you
I
like,
went to something
looking for
practical.
something?
Yeah, I wanted to do something practical because I hated working in an office.
Yeah.
I didn't like sitting behind a desk in front of a computer and
Yeah.
doing that. And I think a lot of it came from helping my dad out around the house when I was younger. So we used to do DIY stuff, and
Yeah.
a lot of people, you just hear, oh yeah, tradespeople make good money, and it's a good skill to have, even if you don't do anything with it. You're always going to need it. It's always going to come in handy at some point. So I kind of just sort of picked it out of thin air.
Okay.
So I looked into it, what I needed to do, found a college, did my level 2 MVQ in plumbing and heating. At the same time, I also did my Part P in 17th edition as well, because
When you say college, was that day release or was that you were there?
no,
full-time?
I was literally just, it was a fast track one. So I was there for, I
okay.
think, about 4 weeks. So
Yeah. Wow.
whilst I left the job in recruitment and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in the meantime,
Yeah.
I just did like one of those fast track courses, which isn't the best way to do it, because I came out of there not really, I got the qualification,
But didn't really know. What.
to do. So that was the next part of my struggle. What do I do next? So because I didn't have the experience, the only thing I knew what to do was sales. So I fell back into sales and I went back into a job as an estate agent. But on the side, I was doing small plumbing jobs. So tap changes, radiators, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So slowly, I built up my experience over time. And then I was as an estate agent for 5 years. And again, it then got to a point where I was getting bored again. I was getting itchy feet, like what should I do next? Then it was a case of, I was also in the process of sorting out my wedding as well. So I had to really make a decision. What am I going to do now? Because I've got a lot of financial commitments
I was
coming
about
up.
to say, you have to.
So
Have you told Peter how much you wedding was?
no. 60 grand. That's more for an Indian wedding.
Did you see him? Then he was like,
That's small for an Indian wedding.
Is it?
Yeah. My mate's one, I think, was about 120.
Wow.
So Indian weddings are very expensive. But so then
we're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
Just set up
Yeah,
a-
wedding
Wedding
industry.
planners
Yeah.
That's it.
or stand builders at trade shows.
Easy money. But then, so I took 2 weeks annual leave, and again I did another fast track gas course, which again is not the best thing to do. So I came out with my qualification, applying left, right, and centre everywhere, and I'm getting calls because people are saying, "Oh yeah, you've got this qualification,"
Yeah.
and then they say to me, "Okay, you can do this." And I was like, "No, I can't." And I was just getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And then I saw an ad for AO.com. They were hiring for trainee gas engineers. I was like, this is what I need. And it says trainee gas engineer, but I got the job and all I was a glorified kitchen appliance installer. So the only gas aspect of it was doing hobs, cookers and ovens, along with the integrated dishwashers, washing machines, fridge freezers.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that was it was 4 days on, 4 days off. And whilst I was there, the people that were on the training course with me, they put me into another WhatsApp group with other gas engineers.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to people, found a few of them were local to me. And on my 4 days off, I just offered to go and work with them for free because I just wanted to get the experience. Because the salary I was getting at AO was good enough for me to, pay my monthly wage, bills or whatever. And for me, getting the experience was priceless compared to, just trying to make a small bit of money out of it.
Yeah.
So I worked at AO for, I think, a year. And then I managed to land a job in a social housing company. And that's where literally my experience in breakdowns just went exponential.
Yeah.
And I was literally chucked into the deep end. There was no buddying up with anyone. And I think the first month I was probably coming home at about 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I didn't have to. They said to me, "You're contracted hours until 5 o'clock." But well, for me, it was a case of, I want to learn. I want to fix this. I want to learn why it's happened. And I want to know for the next time how I'm going to fix this. I was really hungry for it, for the knowledge. And I think that's what really helped me. I genuinely had an interest as to why stuff's going wrong, how to fix it. And not only that, also learning tips and tricks on how to do things quicker, better. Things like even changing radiator valves. Before, I used to drain down the whole heating system to change a rad valve.
Yeah.
Now I will either open vent system, bung the header tank, or even if it's a seal system, dump the pressure and then quickly snatch it over.
Yeah.
So things like that is what really got me to where I am. So I was there for about 2.5 years and slowly built up my private client base in the meantime, and went self-employed about 18 months ago.
Yep.
And haven't looked back since.
Awesome. So you say you did your fast track gas and then you were applying for these jobs that just wanted a qualified gas engineer, which you were.
Yeah.
But once they found out that you'd got no experience, then there was no job.
Yeah, pretty much. So everyone, it's a vicious cycle. You need experience to get the job, but you need work to get experience. And I now get a lot of messages as well from people saying, can I come out with you? Can I come out with you? And I kind of remember me being in that situation, but I don't feel I'm ready yet to take someone else on.
Yeah.
So my advice when people message me is, I literally say to them, what I did was got a job in social housing. You just got to sort of take the rough with the smooth. You're going to have a bit of a shit time at some points, but if you can look past that and look at what you can develop out of it, then...
Would you allow somebody just to come out and just observe what you're doing? Not to actually come and do the job, but just to see how you're doing jobs.
So even that, I've had people just sort of asking me, I don't want to pay, I just want to come out for experience. But I think for me, it's a case of right now where I'm trying to get through so many jobs in a day, it would slow me down to have someone that I need to, even if I'm not paying them, just to show them.
But even if they said, I can't come and just watch you, they'll ask questions.
Yeah. Which I'm happy to help people out, but it's just where I'm trying to get through so many jobs in a day, it will just slow me down and it will just have a knock-on effect to my next job and then the next day and the next day. And I've sort of always had this plan in my mind. I've got another baby coming in a couple of months, so maybe sometime next year I might look to take someone on, either as an apprentice, and it also depends on workload as well. If I've got enough work to pay someone else, then I can pay someone, teach them as I go along, or take someone out with me in experience. But the problem with me is I like to sort of get in, do my thing, get out, move on to the next one. And for me, I've sort of kind of had to take a little bit of a step back, have a bit more patience to then teach someone else, which I've never done before.
Yeah.
I guess I'm sort of learning with my son at the moment, because having a kid takes a lot of patience, especially at the age he is at the moment.
I've got
none.
Zero patience.
It is hard, but...
Got kids?
Yeah, I've got kids, yeah.
That kind of does help building patience.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be the next step for me.
And then your, I say, love of the fault finding aspect of it is what made you then start your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which is you passing on your knowledge, tips and tricks that you've picked up.
Yeah, exactly. And I've had a few sort of negative comments from people as well. Oh, you're giving away too many secrets of the trade. You're giving away too many tips and tricks. People are going to try stuff themselves. But the way I see it, I learned a lot through Instagram.
Yeah.
So after joining Instagram, watching your channel, your YouTube videos and your Instagram page, and along with other fellow plumbing and heating engineers, I've learned a hell of a lot from them. So for me, this is kind of my way of giving back. Even though I can't take something out with me, if I can give back through social media, people are still able to learn something, and I'm still learning. So it's a give and take, and take for all
I
the
think
time.
the thing about your content, same as mine, on boiler and gas stuff, you wouldn't be able to watch one of your videos and work on a boiler. You'd need background knowledge. You need to know what you were doing.
Yeah.
And it's tips and tricks. It's not, here's a video of how to fix your boiler for a customer to watch.
No.
It's for other gas engineers or apprentices to watch.
Yeah. And not only that, the way I see it, if someone does try and fix the boiler themselves and they mess it up, they're going to probably call me.
Yeah.
I've actually had that.
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's the tactic, the Trojan tactic. Watch this, fuck it up, and send me in.
And now I'm going to charge you double.
Yeah.
No, I've had people call me saying, "Oh, watch your YouTube video," and had this problem with my boiler, but they've either said I've attempted it and it's gone wrong, or I don't want to attempt it, but you look like you know what you're doing. So
You're like, show me the money.
And yeah, I mean, it helps my business because it gives customers reassurance that I'm confident in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't confident, I'm not going to showcase it on YouTube or Instagram. I'm not going to put it out for the whole world to see if I'm not confident with what I'm doing. And again, if I'm learning off someone else, I'm always trying to give them credit in my videos as well, saying I've learned this from this person, go and follow this person, go and subscribe to their channel as well. So
Yeah.
I think the whole social media community is grown a lot. It's definitely helped me out, and I just hope that the content that I'm putting out is also helping out other people as well.
Yeah. And so the boiler breakdown stuff is the stuff that you love.
Yeah.
That gets you out of bed in the morning. Is
Yeah.
that what you're focused your business on? That's what you're trying to do, just that?
Yeah.
Any plans to diversify and do bathrooms or?
No, definitely no bathrooms. the amount of people I've watched doing bathrooms, I'm like, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Not even like small bathrooms. I couldn't even.
What about your own bathroom?
In my own bathroom, so where I had my extension done, I just had to put. We created a space for a downstairs toilet, and although it was simple, it was literally just a standard toilet and a vanity unit. I got my mate Josh in to come and give me a hand. I was just like, and I know I can do it, but I just can't be bothered. So can you just come and give me a hand?
Yeah.
I think the other thing for me that I've had, it's been a bit of a struggle, is being an Asian plumbing and heating engineer. Coming from an Asian background, it's always been instilled in me, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a dentist, and
Is it still like that now?
It still happens. I mean, I had a call from my uncle in India, one of my uncles in India, probably about a year ago, literally calling me and cussing me, saying, "Oh, what you doing with your life? Like you're meant to be a doctor, you're meant to be a dentist, and you're doing all this."
How do you think that could be changed then? If that's like,
I just think,
is that going to take time, like as a cultural thing? Is it?
I think so. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I don't think my whole family generally know the in depth of the work that I do. I just think I'm kind of just seen as manual labourer or just a plumber who basically fixes
I think a lot of families, unless they've got somebody who's a tradie, probably presume exactly the same thing, don't they?
Yeah, they see as a plumber, if you're not like a specialist professional, well, we are professionals, but if you're not if you haven't done a job where you've actually used a degree, like you've done medicine or you've done dentistry or veterinarian or something like that, or law, then they just see you as a manual worker. And not only that, when other customers see like an Asian plumber or Asian tradesman, they just automatically think you're going to be cheap. So pricing for me has been quite difficult as well to overcome, because automatically it's like, "Oh, brother, please, sort me out, brother." I'm like, no, like I'm running a business. You don't go to Tesco or Sainsbury's and you don't go just because there's Asian cashier. You don't go to, "Oh, brother, give me this half price."
Well, how do you get around that then? Because that's probably something, obviously, for you that you don't have to think about, do you?
No, not really, no.
I just say to them, "Look, this is my price. It's a fixed price. I'm not going to overcharge you or anything like that. Unless something else goes wrong, then you got to be prepared for it, because in breakdown it's obviously a process of elimination."
Yeah.
So I explain to them, this is the price, and if you're not happy with it, you're welcome to find someone else. And I'm open and honest with them. I say you probably will find someone cheaper, which is absolutely fine, but this is my price. And I direct them to my social media channels. I explain to them, have a look at this. This is the way I work.
Yeah.
If this is what you're after, give me a call. We can discuss further. If not, you're more than welcome to find. You will find someone cheaper, because I'm not the cheapest, but I'm also not the most expensive. But I do pride myself in my work, and I hope that sort of portrays the work that I do on my social media channels.
I mean, one thing I wanted to ask you is, obviously, if you're like one of a rare few that you think of, like, I'm Indian, I'm a plumber. How do you change that then? How do you get more Indian people into trade?
It's a tough one. I think it's because I get why there's so much pressure on Indian people or Asian people in general to go into like medicine or dentistry and things like that, because it's a good profession. It's a well-paid profession. And I think coming from back home where they've obviously struggled, over there that you see manual labourers as manual labourers.
Is it like a status thing?
I think it's a status thing.
Yeah.
So if
but surely if you're successful in anything, it shouldn't. To me, as long as you're not getting
a drug dealer.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think stuff like that should be encouraged, especially if you're doing well.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really hopeful that my son eventually will take an interest and come to trade with me. But that's my dream. That's not his dream. So,
what would you say? Obviously, we have people listening and watching this. What would you say to people that are in a similar situation? They're thinking about going in, but obviously they're getting road to be a dentist or.
I would say it's simple, but just do it. Like if you find an interest in it, watch people's social media videos. If it's something that you think that you might be good at, or something you might be interested in, and give it a go, because there's nothing stopping you. And
well, the thing is, you look at it and you think you look at some of the top CEOs of businesses now, Indian people. Like, surely if the stigma wasn't there, you might find that actually a lot of Indian people are actually good at doing these jobs. Exactly,
and this is the thing. So I think there's there's that barrier where you're good at what you do, but I think there's the other thing, as you're seen as a cheap labourer or cheap worker. So people don't generally think that you're a specialist at this. So where I'm specialising in boiler breakdowns, the Asian culture may not see me as a specialist as in boiler breakdowns. They might just think I'm just a plumber.
So you're saying other Asian people only see you as just
a plumber.
Oh, right. So that's why. Okay.
So I think it's that misconception. They don't understand how wide our field is. Obviously, we've got plumbing, we've got heating, we've got boilers, we've got bathrooms. There's, plumbing and heating is just such a wide, diverse industry. But as soon as you say you're a plumber or gas engineer, when you say gas engineer, they think, oh, you're making money.
When you say plumber.
When you say plumber, they're,
just tell everyone you're a gas engineer.
Yeah. But even then, they don't always differentiate between the two. And I think the main thing is they don't.
Do they think gas engineer, you're working for Transco? Is it Transco?
Yeah, Cadent or whatever. And we know what we think of Cadent. But yeah, I just think there's not enough education out there, I think, for the Asian community to understand that being a tradesman.
There you go. Because I know obviously you're saying I don't want to take somebody else on, but maybe that's something that you can. Yeah. You can push.
Yeah.
In the future.
That's a good point. It's maybe something that I could look into in the future. But I think the main thing is that there's not enough, I think, education for in the Asian community to say, look, you don't just have to do something. Dentistry, doctor, lawyer, you can be a tradesperson. Whatever trade you want to go into, if you're good at something, you should be encouraged to do it.
So, ladies and gents, tradesmen and women, I am trying to help you organise yourself. So we have teamed up with Tradify, which is a software brand that if you are struggling to get organised, to look after your customers and to get everything ready for the jobs that you are going to need, then Tradify is an all-in-one solution. So we've teamed up with those guys. If you click this little link just up here, you get 50% off your first 3-month subscription, and you also can have a 14-day free trial.
Kev?
Oh, really?
The other part of the boy band, Kev.
Yeah.
So, basically, all we do really, we're getting you on the show, is we like to sort of, like we've just done there, is take you back and sort of get how you came into being the trades, other bits and pieces that along the way that's happened to you. So just give us a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay. Well, it's nothing like his story, but I think I had my first child when I was quite young. Like 15. Yeah. It didn't end well. Yeah. Got into another relationship, had another child. Yeah. So.
How old are you at this point?
17.
Yeah. That's got to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't have really any parents around. Didn't really have anything, to be honest. Got into trouble. Yeah. I actually got sentenced to prison. Yeah. Got given 5 years. Didn't actually go to jail because the judge called me back up before they took me away, and she goes, it appears I've left a note in my diary not to send you to jail today, Kevin. And I was like, thank fuck for that type thing. she goes, "You've had a really rough time. You know, I got dragged up through the system. I was like here, there, everywhere." And she goes, "I want you to move away, start a new life with your missus and your kid." And that's what we done. We moved up to Milton Keynes, and her mum.
So where were you originally? Were you in London originally?
No, we was down in Bracknell,
Right,
so like
okay.
right next
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the sort of Ascot area.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we done that. We moved up there, and I was trying to find work for it just felt like forever. We didn't have nothing. I needed to do something. And then mum's partner offered me sort of like £50 a day to come and help him do some painting. And the first job that I actually went to with him was painting Karen Brady's office.
Yeah.
And he said, like, you know, you've got to be proper tip top. You got to like look sharp.
She used to live around there.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. Her daughter went to one of the schools down the road.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, yeah, it was intimidating. Yeah, he was the guy who taught me is very like anal about everything. Had to be perfect. You had to be clean, well presented, like on time. And after a little while, a couple of months and that, it sort of I found that I was doing really well. He kept telling me I was doing really well. He started sending me out on my own. And you know what? I just said to him, I appreciate everything, and I want to try and go on my own now. And I did, and then I built up a nice little business, regular work, didn't really have any time off. And then it sort of went downhill really quick. I had a few family members die. My head wasn't right. I started drinking and sort of getting myself sort of into trouble again. And my missus, she's stuck by me, and she's like always encouraged me. I've been with her like I said, 19 years now, and she sort of always gets me back on the right path. And we sort of got back on track. And then my nan died, and we went down to bury her. And after the funeral, I got jumped and stabbed 8 times.
Bloody hell.
So yeah, I had to. Yeah, it was like touch and go. And this was the first or second week of COVID. So yeah, as you can imagine, like sort of 90 miles away from my kids, they're sort of at home. We've only drove down to bury my nan because it's COVID. Nothing's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah, next thing you know, I'm laying on the floor completely naked. Paramedics around me, police, blood everywhere. And I just started like sort of disappearing, if you know what I mean. It was a bizarre feeling. I said goodbye to my kids. And yeah, next thing you know, I woke up in hospital, and I sort of looked down. I thought it was a dream. I looked down, and I've got this big scar up here, and I was all bandaged up, and I was like, I just woke up, I was like crying. I was like, what the hell has happened? And they told me everything, and it was really hard for a good year, and took me a long time to sort of get out of bed. I was on medication. I started going to therapy. My kids got me into social media. So like, you know, it was lockdown still. My daughter was like, just get up, do a TikTok with me and all this sort of stuff and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, you should actually post your work. And I was like, nah. Because I just didn't want to go out of the house either, so I didn't want to do nothing. But she eventually talked me into it. And I done that, posted one video, and it got like 30 million views sort of straight away.
Wow.
Literally, yeah. By the time I come out of the shower, I had like 20,000 followers, and like literally it just in a second.
You got your daughter to thank for that.
Yeah.
What was the video? Just a job?
I just painted around a plug socket.
Oh, like cutting in?
Just paint around a plug. No, well, towards the end, I just put a bit of paint on the face of it. I was just, I think it's that fucking Billie Eilish song, like I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think I've seen
And
that.
I went like that.
I think I've seen that.
As soon as she goes, I'm a bad guy, I just went slap, and I just.
So you
walked
do
off.
it perfectly, and then at the end,
Yeah.
just fuck you, and you do it. Yeah, I've
But
seen
that plug socket was being replaced. I was doing it just for a bit of a crack, and
The
just
comments
showed my-
went mental, yeah.
Yeah, but then people started asking me questions about painting and that, and instead of sort of just replying to them, I just replied with a video, and then like one thing led to another, and then sort of a year later, I was sort of like nearly 1 million followers on TikTok, and
Unbelievable, that is. That's
yeah,
mad.
it's mad. And then I started on the Facebook and Instagram, and Facebook blew up. I've had it less than a year, and we're at nearly 500,000. So it's just, and that's what actually got me up as well, and it actually got me out of the house.
Yeah.
It really did help. I mean, as well as like my partner pushing me and encouraging me and everything like that. But
Well, the thing is, when
I
other,
had to go and answer questions. I felt.
Yeah. When other people appreciate your work as well, or like dig what you're doing, I think it definitely pushes you to try and be better. Or when you see other people's work that you want to emulate, that pushes you on as well, I think.
Oh, it does, definitely. It gives you that little bit of a boost, you know. And although you get a lot of negatives, I try to like ignore them. But yeah, the decent comments and the nice gestures and all that.
Part of the reason of getting people on like you is that, like, when people do land in the comments like that, if they actually knew your backstory, they'd probably be like, "Do you know what? That guy's had a fucking shit time. Like, I won't pile in on." Comments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't like expect any sympathy whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? And I just like to stay in my own lane. I won't give anyone crap. I won't talk negative about anyone. I won't, even if I think someone's doing something wrong, I won't even sort of tell them. You know, it's not my place to say. I'm in my lane. I'll do my thing. If people don't like me, that's fine. If they do, they do. It's just how it is, and it's worked out well since. So that's where I'm at with it.
Do you find it's helping you because you've got this TikTok, so like Facebook, something to focus on?
Yeah.
It's helping you
100%. It's like it's a thing of me now. It's like it's a part of me, and I feel like it might sound a bit odd, but if you don't get your content out that week, or I'm always thinking about content, so it means I've got to go to work. Yeah, I've got to do this. I've got to do that.
But do you find? Sorry to interrupt. Do you find that because you've got this and you're always thinking about this, it stops you thinking about other stuff, which in the past has maybe made you go to a bad place?
Oh yeah. It keeps me on the right track.
Exactly. Yeah,
100%.
So I find with me, like I have some kind of goal.
Yeah.
And if I've got that goal, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
So then I won't think about anything else.
Yeah.
It keeps me where I want to be.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. Yeah. And when it started growing, my goal was to sort of bring out my own brand, and that's literally what we done last year. So that was a massive achievement for me. And now my new goal is to bring out sort of an additional product, you know, and that's the way I'm going to go with it.
So what have you brought out?
We've just got our own range of paintbrushes now, and we've got like our three different colour decorators called. Yeah, it's not much, but it's something that's got my name on, and
that's how it.
That's massive though, because if you think about you're a painter and decorator, there's a lot of guys do the same job, would dream of being in that situation where they've got their own range of paintbrushes. It's massive. Yeah, you downplay it a bit, but
all
it's
that stuff
huge.
as well. You can sell TikTok and other places, can't you?
You can. Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to try. I find it really hard to push it. I mean, I'll put a link on my stories every now and again, or if I bring out a new product, I'll talk about it.
But, you'll have to get Nick Bundy to teach you.
Yeah,
I'm really hard. I really just can't get my head around like pushing things.
I'm the same though. So I've got my kit bags, but I hardly ever talk about them.
Yeah,
it's strange, but I'm the same.
Yeah, it's I don't want. I feel like I'm just rubbing it in people's faces. It's like
I always nag him because he's got like this real, like, how would you say? How would I call it? Engaged community that obviously, like, he will only say what he really likes, but when he says it, people will go and buy it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't realise what you've got. Yeah, so it's probably the same with.
They trust your opinion.
Yeah. But you don't want to ruin that by constantly trying to sell them something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and if they think, you know, he's only doing it to make money now.
Yeah.
It's one of them, isn't it? I find it. I just find it hard.
No, I think the real people that follow you will know that you've obviously done something great. You've got your own range of brushes, and they'll probably want to support you, and they'll buy them regardless of you telling them to buy them. They'll just do it because they want to support you.
Yeah. So I mean, that's true. Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of loyal supporters, and
do they know your backstory? Do they know this story?
I've only just started talking about it probably 6 months ago, and it's only because people approach me and ask me to tell them my story, and it's like on places like this, or you know, for mental health and things like that, and how I got over things, and that's when I started with telling people. And you know, it actually helps. It helps me talking about it now.
Well, the one reason that we sort of started the podcast, obviously, like Pete's all the trade sort of side of things. I'm just interested in people. So when I speak to everybody online, you're in people's DMs and you have a chat, but you don't really get to know anybody. It's just, oh yeah, that video is cool, or blah blah blah. Whereas when you bring people on here, you get to hear stuff like that. So then you sort of understand, or when you're watching how somebody creates their content, you can sort of see some of that coming through in it.
you get to know people, don't you?
Yeah.
You get a
It's
feel for
always
it.
better to know
Yeah.
somebody's backstory, because then you understand how they work, and then you're watching that
Yeah,
process.
yeah. No, I agree totally. That's why I'm a big believer. You know, just don't judge anyone.
Yeah.
You know, just treat people how you want to be treated,
Yeah.
and you get on just fine. You know.
So how's like with your wife now? Well, not your wife, your girlfriend,
My fiance.
Your fiance. So with her, because obviously like all of that as well is like, you know, how does that affect what goes on at home? Because I know obviously when you guys are trades and you go home, you've had a shit day and you bring in that stuff back. Obviously, like she stood by you, and you know you're now here. Like I always find that I can't switch off either when I go home, and like how does that affect the stuff that's at home? I mean, she's obviously still with you now, isn't she? And stuff like that. Like,
do you know what? She's quality. She's a really strong, independent person. Like she's the backbone of our little household. Like honestly, I don't know how she does it, but yeah, I mean, she won't talk about what I've just told you. She's like, leave it. I don't want to talk about it. I struggle with it, but she can pick us all up, and you know, it's hard to explain. It should be the other way around.
Because obviously you go through it, but then you don't realise like the effect on.
Yeah, sometimes she'll have a little bit of a breakdown, you know, and it's you can sort of see, you know, it gets probably a bit too much for her. I don't know how she deals with these things. You know, she's got her friends that she talks to.
Because blokes don't really talk about it.
No, this is the thing. Yeah, I didn't talk about it for ages.
Tell what I want to ask you, and not obviously tell me if being nosy, but you know the point at where you're in front of the judge, 17 years old, and they're telling you you're going to go down for 5 years, you would feel like that's it, my life's over.
Yeah,
because you're young. 5 years is a long time when you're 17.
Yeah.
The moment when she said to you, I'm not sending you to, I mean, I would be bawling my eyes out at that point. That's a pivotal point in your life. Have you ever thought about, or you might have already done this, but finding that judge and saying to her, thank you for that. This is what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You know, thank you.
Honestly, I thought about that probably just a couple of weeks ago. I don't know how I would go about finding who it was, to be fair.
Probably have you arrested for hunting them down.
Yeah. But no, I mean, yeah, she actually turned my life around.
Yeah, I was thinking when you're telling me, I was thinking like if that was me, I would be in a mess.
You probably look back and think like, if I hadn't have had that opportunity, where would I be now?
She probably won't even remember me. But
I think she would. And how cool would it be for you to let her know what a success you've made of your life?
Yeah, maybe I should try and make that.
We'll get Nathan on it.
Get Nathan on it. No, but like when she sentenced me to jail, I went dizzy. I threw up.
Yeah, I can.
And then when she they pulled me back up, I was like, oh God. Do you know what I mean?
You never know. You never know what like that is. A pivotal moment. It's a supreme act of kindness for her to think, right, I'm going to give this young lad, he obviously needs someone to help him.
Yeah.
And that moment has transformed your life.
Yeah.
Because she could have just let you go to prison.
Yeah, she could have just like everyone else.
Yeah.
You know? But she definitely looked at me differently that day, and if I'm honest, I was probably crying out for help.
Yeah,
like that's why I probably kept getting into trouble.
17, 2 kids, it's a lot to.
Yeah, or at least one on the way. I think.
Yeah,
it was borderline.
It's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Lot to deal with.
Yeah,
lot to deal with.
So yeah, it's really hard. But yeah, I've definitely she turned my life around that day.
Yeah,
100%.
No. So the other thing to talk about then is your actual work. Because I feel like we've only touched on your sort of personal life. Like, give us a sort of typical day for you. The stuff that you love doing. Obviously, you hate bathrooms everywhere.
Yeah,
plumbing, what stuff do you love and enjoy about the job? And you know, if you were selling it to your 17-year-old self now, what would you be saying?
I like the transformations, you know, and I like going into a bare room and transforming it into something that looks really modern, you know, like sometimes you turn up at clients' houses and they haven't got a clue what they want, but they want it decorated, they want it looking fresh. And if you give your opinion, show them some examples of things that I would like to do, something different, and them jobs that they agree to are like my favourite, because then I can sort of
Express yourself.
push the boundaries a little bit, rather than just going in with a light grey. That's just
my house.
Just literally like
Just want the whole house magnolia.
exactly that. Yeah, I like to try, mix it up a bit.
My whole house is ammonite.
Is it?
Yeah, literally the whole house is ammonite.
Yeah, that's
I'm that guy.
There's a lot of job satisfaction. You stand back at the end of the day, you think, yeah, you look at it, I've done that.
Yeah. I like working with gloss as well. I like getting a nice shine. Like where you can see your reflection. Like trying to.
Here's one for you, because I'm going to be doing it at my house. What's the best paint?
For what?
Just what's the best paint?
I don't know, walls.
It's fair. Do you know what? I really love the Dulux Heritage at the moment, and I've
like, what's easy to work with?
Dulux Heritage.
Well, when you say what's your favourite paint, what makes a good paint? Is it the range of colours? Is it the application of it? What is it that make?
Yeah, probably like the opacity, so how well it covers, how well it flows, sort of the colour range. But to be fair, you can probably get most paints mixed in any colour anyway.
Yeah.
And ultimately the finish and durability. So I hate shiny stuff like on walls.
I'm a matte finish guy.
Yeah, that's what we like.
And anything I can wipe with children.
Yeah, which is like a velvet matte, and it is like a velvet matte, and I do love it. It's probably one of my favourite paints for walls, definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm on it.
And is Faro and Ball overrated?
No, because I use.
You heard it here first.
I use it's an ammonite, but it's a Dulux colour match.
Yeah. No, Farrell and Ball is it's to be honest,
it's
all right, but it's a 3-coat system. You have to use their primer.
So this reminds me when I painted my house a long time ago. But you used to be able to get oil-based paint.
Yeah.
And then I was using Farrow and Ball, and then it all became water-based.
Right.
Can you still get oil-based paint?
Yeah.
Did they just stop doing it because Farrow and Ball don't do it anymore, do they?
Do you know what? I didn't even know that they did do it.
Right.
So I don't know if
So back in the day when when I got my house and I was doing it, I started using Farrow and Ball, and then probably like 2 years later, moving on to the next room, you go back to B&Q or wherever Johnson's decorator centre.
Now he's just Ball and no Farrow.
You try and get an oil base, and it's all water based.
A lot of everything's going water based, but there is still oils,
Yeah.
And when it comes to like color oils, color woodwork, I do like an oil finish.
Yeah.
Not so much white.
So what happens when you paint exterior and it's not oil based, it's water based? Doesn't it just wash away with the rain?
No, it cures.
Okay. I'm just asking.
It dries and it goes hard.
I ask the questions that people want to know the answers to.
Do you know one thing I really want to do with this show is at some point, like me and you have to go and do other trades for a day.
Yeah, you should come and work with me for a day.
Like painting walls, laying bricks, and just.
We could colour match a nice white gloss to your teeth.
No, that'd be. Do you know what'd be really good is if you painted me and it was just the teeth.
Let's do it.
Like Wrigley's extras.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's it. You can use water base outside.
So what's your future? You got any plans? Are you happy where you are? Have you got any?
He's doing the nursery at Karen Brady's.
You got your aspirations for your next product, but as far as your social goes, it's just more of the same. Or
yeah, pretty much. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not out there to. If I'm honest, I don't want to be
change the world.
Yeah, I'm.
And do you work alone?
Yeah, most of the time.
Have you thought about getting an apprentice or getting a member of staff?
Yeah, well, my youngest, he's 15 now.
Oh, perfect. So
he's coming to work experience with me in a couple of weeks for a week. If it's summer holidays, he'll come in. Earn some money, buy some rubbish, and but he's good at it. He's a little bit let's say like OCD. So if he's working on a particular area, he'll make sure that's perfect, which is cool. So I'll just get him doing the prep work. And I'll paint.
So my nephew's Harry's now 12.
Yeah.
So got 3 years left, and then he wants to be a plumber. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, that's cool.
He's already started at the gym with me.
He'll be 4th generation then.
Yeah, and he's at the gym.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't doing little bits. Just
Back and boys.
Just doing like whole body and trying to get him strong because he plays football.
Yeah.
He's really skinny, fast, but yeah, just trying to teach him
to bulk out a bit.
Well, he's not eating enough because he's a 12-year-old kid and they don't eat, do they? But
Yeah.
he's doing well. He likes shoulder press.
Just get him some cottage cheese.
He likes doing muscle ups.
Is he?
He already did muscle ups with a band, but yeah.
Oh, really?
How much does he weigh?
43 kilos.
I wish I did.
So yeah, he's only 12, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you know, if he likes spending time with me, which is great for me because it's a nice feeling that he wants to hang out.
He's
with
got to
me.
go to the gym if he likes spending time with you. He's got no choice.
No, I think it's really good. And do you know what? But going to the gym at that sort of age now is quite a popular thing.
Yeah.
So like you know,
Well,
when I was
kids
younger,
don't
it'd be
go
like
out.
smoking and
Kids
drinking in the
they
streets,
don't-
you know.
Yeah, they don't go down the park and get hammered anymore. They're in the gym.
My boy, he goes boxing, he goes football, he goes gym, he go in his spare time, he'll be at the AstroTurf.
Yeah.
He'll ride his bike everywhere. It's like, it wasn't like
Polar
that when I was,
opposite, yeah.
yeah, it's like mad.
Yeah, well, that's what we used to do when we were kids. You
I didn't. I used to be
go
down
out
the
on your
park
bike
with
and
Yeah.
MD 2020.
I was literally, I remember I just used to go out on my bike.
yeah,
Bit of Mad Dog.
Mum and Dad didn't have
Yeah.
to worry about where I was going. I just go down to the park, go down to the forest, whole day
starting
Cycling.
fires,
just messing around, and then
Yeah.
come home and that's it. No trouble, no problems. Nowadays, I'm worried about when my son's old enough to send him down to the park on his own.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, that is a worry as well, you know. Because after what I went through, and I actually know, it's sad, like a kid that was an apprentice on my site. And I said to see you later to him on Friday, and Monday he didn't turn up. He got stabbed once and he died.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Shit.
and that really hit hard, like for me, because I got done 8 times.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
this
survived,
poor
yeah.
kid is
Yeah.
16. And I was like, why am I even here? Like, and this kid, you know what I mean? And that's the worry, you know, kids on the streets, and it's that sort of age group that are bigging it up, you know, and that's why, you know, my boy's 15, but luckily he's got a good group of friends. They're not like that. They're into their fitness, and you know, they don't mess around, and they go straight to their point and come home. They don't cause trouble. But you do cross that path of them other kids, don't you? Which unfortunately is
sad fact, isn't it?
yeah.
So, as you know, myself and Pete, we always want to try and give back to the people that watch and listen to the show. So we've done you an absolute solid. We've got loads of discounts from top name brands all across the internet. So if you want to save some money on tools, software, tool bags, accessories, then go and check out our discount page, which is just located here. Hopefully there's a saving on there for you, and that's a little bit of a thank you from myself and Pete for supporting the channel. So should we do our Jerry Springer final thought?
Yeah, so if you've got anything you want to say, any pearl of wisdom or words of encouragement, or if you want to plug your channel,
You want to do an R. Davis? And
do an R Davis and just say, yeah, go follow me on all my Instagram
Well,
channels.
do that anyway.
Yeah.
But honestly, the amount of DMs I get about people, you know, asking me for advice on, you know, how I got to where I am and things like that. What people don't see, what people see now, they haven't seen what I went through when I was working in the social housing, when I was doing the late night call outs. You know, there were nights where I was coming home at like midnight, 1 a.m. You know, I was getting called out. I'm in bed. I'm getting my phone's ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got uncontainable leak. You go there, it's just a fucking drip.
Yeah.
And that's just the person in the house.
Yeah. But
And
advice,
you can't go, you lying fucker.
Yeah.
You
no, I
gotta
just
do
go
it.
there, just turn the mains water off. Oh, sorry, you got no water. You got to wait for the day staff to come back and sort the problem out.
Yeah.
But no, if anyone's looking to get good at breakdowns, servicing, repairs, even installs, go and work for a company, like a big company, because I was able to make mistakes. Like literally, I could order up 3 or 4 parts for a boiler and not worry about it coming out my own pocket if I got it wrong. But it was a case of you started off kind of guessing, and then you start learning the patterns and realizing, okay, it's not that part, it was that part, and then you sort of build on that, and then you slowly you start diagnosing, right, I know it's definitely that part. But you can't do that on your own. You know, you could be out of pocket 500-600 quid in parts easily.
Or spending 4 or 5 hours on one simple breakdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd say go and work for a firm. Go and, you know, it doesn't matter what firm it is. Take the rough with the smooth. Gain your experience, and then when you're ready, go out on your own.
What about you, Kev? Any pearls of wisdom?
I'm really not that good at this. I don't.
Just stay out of trouble.
Just stay out of trouble. Yeah, stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Even if they're, someone once told me, people like people who like them. So be kind to people. They'll treat you right.
Amen.
That's it.
Good wisdom. But yeah, thank you very much for
thank you for having me.
Both coming on. Great
Well, I
stories.
can't believe we've gone through the whole show and no one's asked me about my medal.
Oh, sorry, Pete, you won the medal.
Didn't even get the chance to say, this. I didn't even realise I was wearing it.
Do you want to do it now? And we'll just
I'll just do it now.
I love the way he comes in just to show off his medal at the end.
It's not a surprise.
Hey, my job is...
Like we've just had a life-changing story over
Yeah,
there, and you're
and
like, I've been to Stockholm.
my role in life is to inspire and motivate people to do things.
My role, my goal.
And by talking about my marathons I'm doing or my
Ice baths.
my goals, whatever, it might encourage someone to go out and run a marathon, which is a good thing in my opinion.
That is a good thing. And
Amen.
what is that medal,
So
by
I
the way?
just returned from Sweden. I did the Stockholm Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lovely time. I knocked 11 minutes off my PB. So
PB beat his PB.
I did a 4 hour and 12-minute marathon, and it's made me really hopeful that my next marathon I'll get sub 4 hours. My next one.
What is the average for a marathon?
Moses kicked
I think
a new
most people would be really happy with a sub 4 hour marathon
Okay.
as like a part-time runner, not like a professional. They're like doing 2 hours, 3 hours.
Bloody hell.
But if I can get a 4 hour marathon, that will be great for me. And I was
Imagine running
almost
26 miles in 2 hours.
Jesus.
crazy. The pace they
In London,
maintain.
it'd take you that to drive.
Yeah.
No, it would. Well, probably longer than that.
Honestly, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, easily.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, well
And
done.
I've already
When's
booked,
your next one?
I've
And
already-
where is it?
I've booked Athens Marathon in November, but I also want to do at least one before that.
Do in Boston.
What's the hardest one you've done so far?
Um,
And what's your favourite one?
Paris was pretty hard because I had a really bad knee injury and it was cold and like raining at
And
the
this is
start.
the first one after your full-blown illness.
Yeah,
Oh, that was after Kenya.
yeah,
And you got a
bloody
PB. Maybe you should get ill more often.
yeah. Well, for those who don't know, I went to Nairobi to do. We built a school on a charity project, and I got really ill.
Wow.
So on the way, 2 days before we left, I shit everything I own out my arse. And it lasted for 6 days. So by the third day, I was so
He thinks he's on
dehydrated.
Dr. Phil.
I had to go on.
He said he thinks he's on Dr. Phil.
I was so dehydrated because anything I ate or drank just went straight through
What was
me.
it- what-
So I had to
what
go
was
on a
it from?
drip. Just a viral infection.
Was
Wow.
Yeah. But so I lost 8 kilos, which I then tried to put back on as quick as possible because that messed with my head.
8 kilos?
Yeah.
In how long?
I'd love to lose 8
6
kilos.
days.
Jesus, I'm going to Kenya.
And me. Kenya, we're coming.
Honestly, I could do with that.
And
Yeah.
me.
But yeah, then went and did the marathon. It was great. Loved it. So already booked my next one. And it just gives me something to focus on because now I'm training for this marathon.
Yeah.
And I want 4 hours. That's my goal.
Where else can you book?
In between then,
Yeah.
so I was looking at Tallinn, which is Estonia, Warsaw in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Great North Run I was thinking about as well, but I've already done that. And then Lisbon, Portugal.
Wow.
So
Lisbon.
yeah, hook me up.
He's like,
Staying at G's mum and dad's house. Easy.
He's like, nah.
But we did the Stockholm Marathon. So just to give you an idea, so entry to a marathon, this one was about €60. So that's your entry into the race. Then you got your flights there. So Ryanair from Stansted, 60 quid, and then 60 quid on the way back. But to keep the cost down, we stayed in a hostel, and it's the first time I stayed in a hostel.
Would you do it again?
How was that?
I would actually, yeah. So you go in, and it's a communal kitchen, communal showers, toilets, like bathroom stuff, and then your room that you're in has just got a lock on the door.
Okay.
So you got a code for your room, and then there's 5 or 6 people in your room, bunk beds.
Randoms.
Reminds me of
So
studying at
anyone.
uni.
I was in with 2 of the guys I travelled with.
Okay.
A young lad, 18-year-old from Australia. And another guy, I don't know where he was from, but he played spike ball. It's something on a trampoline, some kind of game. He was
What?
like a spike ball player. And then a girl
I
from,
was waiting for you to say I'm taking up spike ball now.
I don't know what it was, but it was
2 weeks.
They were there doing a tournament.
Okay.
And then an American girl. Although we booked an all-male hostel,
And there was a bird in there.
There was loads of girls in there.
Oh wow.
But yeah, you share everything. You're in the room. The bed's the bunk bed. The pillow.
Were you top bunk?
I was top bunk. My pillow. It should have been retired like 5 years ago. It was like a bag of porridge. It was horrible.
Oh.
But you get fresh linen, fresh towels, and it's 20 quid a night.
Wow.
So keeps the cost down. But you can
Just
go
a
to
mattress and no pillow.
I 100% wouldn't mind paying £100 for a hotel room if I was out there though. Like I know it's like
But it's an
five.
experience. It's
Yeah,
experience.
okay, yeah, I
And
get that.
so I go to a beautiful country like Sweden, run a marathon, do a bit of touristy stuff. About 500 quid you can do it for.
So do you set up like any sponsors and raise money for this? Or
I have done, but the trouble is like being on social media and asking for people to donate. There's only so many times you can do it, and
True.
everyone's struggling at the minute.
Yeah.
So I pick and choose when I do. But I do run for Born Free Foundation. That's my charity.
Okay.
So if people do want to donate, I have a link for that. But I don't always push it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't mention it once for this one.
Okay.
So
How much have you raised?
I don't know. Fair whack. I raised 3,000 quid for Parkinson's UK London Marathon last year. About £1,000 for Band of Builders.
That's what you should say. Look, this is how much we've all raised together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them.
Yeah.
Show them.
Yeah.
Innit?
I think then people take it a bit more seriously in terms of
Yeah.
donating.
Yeah.
When
The
they
more
see
you donate, the more I run.
Yeah.
You can join that guy from
Yeah.
top of Africa to the bottom there.
Forrest Gump.
There's a guy, literally a guy who's running the whole length of
Oh,
Africa.
is it really?
Yeah.
Just non-stop, like rest, go again.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Well done.
Fair
Thank
play.
How many medals you got now?
This was my 6th marathon.
Is it?
Yeah, number 6.
So you get one every time you
When did you
complete
start?
it?
When did you start? Last year.
Last year, London.
Wow.
Last year was my first. Yeah.
6 in his.
That's good
Jesus
going.
Christ.
So if I can do a sub 4 hour this year, I will be so happy. That's my goal.
What was your first time?
4:23.
Not bad.
Well, I'm
I'd
rooting
probably
for
do it
you.
about 6. Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
Thank God
Thank
you're
you, mate.
winning and I'm not.
Right, guys, nice one. Enjoyed that.
That was awesome, that.
Yeah. If you like listening to Al talk over all the guests, if you've enjoyed this episode of Trade Legends, listening to Al talk over everybody else and people banging on the desk, if you've enjoyed listening to and watching today, you're fucking gonna just stay still, one space just for a minute.
If you've enjoyed watching this, blah, 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 blah. Right,
just-
3, 2, 1, go.
So I'll just not do it.
Go.
Yeah, you sure? I'm gonna shut up for just like a minute. If you've enjoyed listening and watching today's Trade Legends podcast, please subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out. We're a new podcast. We want to do big things, and you subscribing, hitting the little bell so you get notifications would be just great. Thank you.
Hitting the little bell. I was like, ah, yeah, ding, 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 ding.
There is a little bell in there.